I think this is working. Hello everyone, this is Dion Soul. I hope everyone is doing well. And today we're sitting here at runway 24, about ready to take off here at Lancaster, California. This is not a flight that I'm going to make any money on. It's just a fun fly, and I am just doing a impromptu, let's just go fly live and just have some fun. I actually got to change. It's just a fun fly, and I got to turn that off so I don't have to hear myself, so I can watch the chat. And I don't have any of the ATC going or anything like that. I have been trying to get my X-Plane 11 back together again. I've been having issues, and you can see the frame rates are still not as good as they should be. But there's reasons for that, and I'm going to fly around and show you the reasons. I've done some updating on, I've changed the changed the airports up a little bit, and what I did is I installed a SSD drive, and I put my X-Plane install on the SSD drive, and unfortunately I have not really found any big changes, to be honest. Let me go ahead and get everything up here and get up. But we're just going to go around and look at the scenery of Southern California and that sort of thing. Get our act together here. I only have like 50% power. Last night I flew around Southern California. I downloaded an updated lighting program, or updated lighting for different of Southern California in different areas that a developer created, and so which is really cool. And I can see a Cessna 172 right over there on our about our 9 o'clock position right there. So the live traffic is currently working, which is good. So like I said, this is very informal. Let's just go around and look at things. And I'm also over on Proper Jeremy's chat channel in case Spartan Jeremy or Proper Jeremy decides to come on in and say hi. Of course, most people know by now that I usually do informals. I just jump in and go. One of the mods I did was updating that another developer created called by oh crap, I forgot the name of it offhand. Sim Heaven, that's what it was, and it updates the trees and the foliage and everything in X-Plane to make it more robust. The downside is that it also creates more lag because you're putting more pixels on the screen. And with this little 5-year-old computer, it just can't handle it to a degree. But I did notice a little bit of an improvement there. And of course, like I said last night with the lighting ones and whatnot. And so that's what we're basically doing, just going out and looking at things. Also, I've been having issues with, kind of hard to see here. Let me put my nose up here a little bit and see if that helps out a little bit. We can actually get a more look at the of Southern California here. And, but like I said, I've been sitting there trying to get my install back together, get the frame rates back up using the SSD drive, which works, but to be honest, I haven't really seen a big, huge improvement, so, which is disappointing. I mean, yeah, it was a little bit of money, but it wasn't that bad. It was only like, it was $120 for a 1 terabyte. It's a SanDisk, so the speed is not as good as a Samsung SSD drive, but I just didn't have the money for it, so I gotta pick and choose my battles. So, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down over here. We'll fly in. I'm gonna fly and see. I also from Sim Heaven. I also downloaded an add-on that makes it so you can see points of interest, i.e., like Mount Rushmore and Sequoia National Forest and various other, points of interest. And so in this case, I'm going to fly over here and see if it shows up the Hollywood sign. Well, that's where we're heading right now. Is we're going to go over here and see if we can see the Hollywood sign. I'm in the Epic 1000 with the Garmin Garmin 1000 by Aerobask. I chose that airplane because it's fast and I can get me from point A to point B pretty quickly. And in fact, I'm going to start slowing down here because we're still climbing, and I don't need to go very high if we're going to sit here and look at the ground. But I hope everyone is doing well, been doing fine. Like I say, again, just been trying to put my computer back together. And that sort of thing. We'll go ahead and pull back on our prop RPM. Get right around 1500 RPM on our props, which in turn is going to cause us to climb a little bit. And our torque to go up. And I also need to, and we are hand flying, as you can tell. That's why it's kind of all over the place, because I am hand flying it right now. The computer is not controlling anything. So if I bring it into the dirt, it's all because of me. And just a little follow-up to the previous video I did discover, now whether that's something they added after my video, but I did notice up here is where you get the pop-outs. In my previous video, I was talking about how you just click right over here and you get the pop-outs and whatnot. Now you see a little icon that shows a pop-out insignia, and so now the pop-out actually works, which is really cool. Well, that's good. And that's real helpful when you are trying to see, like right now, I don't have any pop-out, but then if I go right over here on the top of the status line, then I get the pop-out. So that's a plus. Again, I wish that you could just click on the this right here. Like I can click on this right here, it would bring up, instead of actually having to go over here and click on these things. And it'd be nice if you can just click on this and then it automatically select it and highlight it. I wish that feature was available, like in the other, I'm having a blank of what you call it, the sky view. But we'll just wait for the sky view. You know, hopefully the sky view will come out here. So now we're coming into the San Fernando Valley here. Keep our RPM at 1500 RPM, and we're going to go ahead and back off on our power. I want to get low. I'd have to actually look and see what the, because we are in the Class Bravo airspace, which we was doing this for real. I'd be talking to ATC and they'd be sitting there, well, what the hell are you doing? Oh, flying VFR, just kind of effing around. I see I got somebody else in the house for briefly there, and a big howdy. They were there and they were gone. Like I said, I got to change my my text there. Change it to a free flight. But there, right there, you can see normally. Right, I don't know, is my mouse working? Yeah, my mouse is working. So right over here, you can see that mod that I have for trees and stuff. Normally, that would be flat, so you can see the trees are actually populating right there, which is good, based on some data somewhere. Trying to get leveled off here. Because like I say, I'm hand flying this airplane, by the way. I saw I just got a text message or a message. But anyway, that's what I was looking for, because we can sit here and fly right now. I am still kind of, you put it a little bit more top nose trim, because I want to slow the airplane down. What you're seeing right now is the Highway 210 freeway, and coming into, we're kind of in the wrong, we're out of position right now, but on the right side of my nose here, we would see Hanson Dam. And I just thought I would go over here, and coming into Tahunga. That's Tahunga area right here. So pretty representative of Tahunga, California. I can make sure that, yeah, looks like we're all doing here on my audio and stuff, so that's good. Very, very nice. Orthos are awesome. But what we need to do is make a right turn here, and we need to go over here. There is Burbank. And you can see the trees populated right there, so that mod is actually working around those trees, which is good. My granddaughter's, you guys won't be able to see her, but she's right here. One of my granddaughters here to pay me a visit. Papa bug me, or I'm gonna bug Papa, that kind of thing. There's my other granddaughter with her sunglasses on. Yeah, having that tree mod stuff is definitely taking a hit on my frames. That's for sure. It's unfortunate. But you want the eye candy. See if the smokestacks are back. Okay, I don't see the smokestacks, so that mod I took out. Got rid of some of the landmarks. There is a over here, kind of behind us here. So let me go outside. See if I can get outside. I gotta redo my views again, or do I have an issue? Oh, let's see. Let's go over here and go to chase view. Yeah, right along in here somewhere there is some smokestacks for a generation plant for Burbank, city of Burbank. And of course, and I don't see them right now, so yeah, it's the one landmarks didn't do it. And here, of course, we're flying over Burbank right now. Yeah, let's go back, and then let's go into face view. And we'll go back around like this, and then we'll go ahead and hit that. Over here like this. Internals like that. There we go. Yeah, for some reason, I lost my views. But that's okay. I'll just have to redo them. So we'll come around here. You can see off in the distance right here. You can see my granddaughter making noise. That right there is North Hollywood Mall, I believe. That's what that one is, North Hollywood Mall. As we are coming around. Here in the San Fernando Valley. Population 1 million plus, at least it was in the 1980s and during the 1990s. Whether it's that much today or not, I would say imaginably, I would assume so. Still probably over 1 million just here in this valley. And you can see that's the reason why my frame rates are killing right now, is because of all the detail that you see way out in the distance. That's alright. I want to see the candy. If I sacrifice the frames a little bit, then so be it. Until I can get myself a better computer. I like my eye candy. And right over here is Universal Tower, which is Universal Studios. That's all Universal Studios right there. Come around right there. And of course, Imagineering and Disney Imagineering and NBC Studios and everything else is all right over here. This spot over here. You can see the 170 turning into the 101, which actually the 134 is right there. And of course now there's the 101 heading south into Hollywood. I did like I say, the landmarks mod that I downloaded puts up radio towers and things like that. So when we come around here, we'll see if the Hollywood sign is actually here, and it doesn't look like it. I have another mod that did, but it was putting trees on runways, and it was very annoying. And I would sit there and I'd try to use an exclusion on the actual airport itself, like KWJF, my Lancaster Airport, my home base, as an example. And they would still, put in there, which is a kind of a bummer, you know, kind of a bummer. Yeah, I don't see the Hollywood sign. I thought it was like right here. Trying to keep my nose up here. But you can see radio towers, which is good. But unfortunately, no Hollywood sign. So the other modification I had has a Hollywood sign, but this one does not. But you can see Los Angeles in the distance. As we're flying over the mountains of Hollywood. Kind of going a little slow here, so of course the nose is wanting to pitch up, which is obstructing our view. Make a turn right here, and we'll go. We'll buzz the left side of Los Angeles. Surprised I'm not seeing a lot of traffic right now. I would think live traffic would be giving me all kinds of. I'm seeing a bunch of people going into LAX. We can't see it, but I do see it on my radar. That's Silverwood, or Silverwood Lake, I believe it is, right there, or Silver Lake. There's a 7-Eleven like right over there that I worked on from time to time. There's 7-Elevens all over the place here that I worked on from time to time back in my 31-year career working for 7-Eleven. I tells you I'm an old son of a bitch. But that's fine. That is just fine. So here we are coming into LA. It's not as robust. They actually have if you can, you know, for money, you know, it costs you money, but they do make a scenery mod that you can buy that has more detailed of LA, which is fine. I mean, that's what you want. That's cool. But to be honest, I'm always flying out of Southern California to somewhere else, so I'm never really here. And that's kind of my position about, you know, sceneries in general. Sceneries in general is kind of like, I don't really buy sceneries in general. For one, I'll take advantage of what's free, and two, I'm not there long enough to appreciate the purchase that I bought. You know, costing me 30, 40 bucks. I want to get some, oh no, I want to get my value out of it. And just to be in there for like 5 minutes and then you're gone. And you do that periodically. It's just kind of like, is it really worth it or not? So it's a hard sell when you're, you know, as a developer, you know, for me as a buyer wanting to buy, you know, scenery. Now I see the trees have kind of overpopulated, but there's Staples Center right there. And I see Staples Center's got a bunch of trees all over it, and the LA Convention Center. So that's not quite right. Geez, there's nobody on the freaking freeways. Of course, that's not how it really is. Go around here, and well, they populated the buildings pretty well here in LA for this mod. Or actually, I think this is X-Plane. Out of the box X-Plane. I think. because you'd have the, well, now it's called the U.S. Bank Building, but back in the day it was you know, the First Interstate Bank Building. I personally did not work on it, but the company I worked for at the time did. And but you can't tell. It's the one that got blown up in Independence Day, the big building. Yeah, that's the building that the company I worked for. They put in all the low voltage wiring and cabling in for the you know, for all the network connections that they had. Of course, this is back in the early '90s, late '80s. And fiber optics, even then, you know, they had fiber. We had people on staff that knew how to splice fiber, and that was a big fiber job. It was a multi-million-dollar job that I didn't get a piece of. I'd be retired. So anyway, that's LA. It's really cool. Looking to see if they had a visual representation of the mall. I don't really see it. It's the mall that has the 4 little, you know, buildings that are round, but I don't see it in this cluster of buildings. So I guess that didn't happen. Well, already, and there's another airplane coming in to land, I'm assuming. Get straight here. We'll follow Interstate 10 freeway right there, which is off to our left a little bit. This traffic is brought to you by... This traffic report's brought to you by... That's the Highway 10, or not really an interstate, just Highway 10. And the 110 is going this way, and Interstate 10 is going this way on down to San Pedro, or Pedro, depending on how you want to say it. And if you want to roll your R's, whatever. Let's go ahead and kick up some speed here. So a dense population with the computer I have, yeah, it kind of beats me up a little bit. I thought my lights were on, but I don't think they are. I know my inertial separator's on, that shouldn't be on. I got my taxi light on. Let's go ahead and just put my landing lights on, just my strobes. 2 things I forgot. But I wish the frame rates were better, but it just... That's why I don't come down here very much, because of the amount of detail. And it's not really the video card is the bad guy here. It's just my computer. My computer's old. Like a church or something down there. Okay, I don't know what that is. Let me go ahead and get our heading. Set heading 231. Right again. Oh, it's not working. All right, so that means I got to fix that real quick. Sorry about that. Let me do this. And this needs to be bound to my pilot command. Set heading 231.
Autopilot requires the Pro version.
Uh-oh. Okay, fine. And I'll have to, because I did do an update. When you do an X-plane update, sometimes you'll have to update or have to re-put your license in. So I'll have to do that later. Then fine. I'll have to do it the hard way. I just have to spin it around the hard way. Try to get out of this area. as we're going to flying over Santa Monica here in a minute. Alright, heading set 230, autopilot on. As we are going way too fast. There. And then our speed is, or our altitude is 3,500 feet, and I'm doing 260 knots. Awesome. You can see all the airplanes that are coming into LA, where there was one right over here. Oh, there it is. Or is that a boat? Like a boat. Take a look outside. Santa Monica Airport. Soon to be, you know, an airport that doesn't exist. Slowly but slowly, they're getting rid of it. Bastards. But very nice. Other than the fact that my frame rates are terrible. If I get out here, frame rates are great. Need to find a mod for the Santa Monica where you can have the Santa Monica Pier, which is what that's representing, then have the Ferris wheel and everything. There's no no Ferris wheel representation. Set heading to 320, I guess. Correction. Let's go 270. And it's kind of sightseeing, just checking things out. I don't expect this to be much of a flight that everybody's going to watch. That's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, see, I get away from all the buildings and stuff. Now all of a sudden my frame rates are back to what they should be. I'll go ahead and pump up our speed to 240 knots, 45 knots or something. Stuff to look at out here in the ocean, I guess. What do we got here? We got a boat. Be a good day for it. We're zipping over here. We'll go over here to Oxnard, fly around Oxnard. We'll come in on Highway 26, follow Highway 126 through Santa Paula, and then get back into Santa Clarita Valley. And right now, yes, this would be over here like this. That our looky-loo for over here. Now that's all Malibu and stuff. Highway 1. I did a video years ago, well, not years ago, but a couple of years ago, where I was in my, I was in the MU2, and I was flying around the MU2, and I started down in San Diego, at Tijuana, and then flew all the way up to where to where the Highway 15 ends in, I don't know, South Dakota or Montana or something. That was pretty cool. I mean, that was pretty neat, but it was just stock X-plane and no orthos. I need to revisit those, as I said at the time, I was going to do that one, then I was going to do the Interstate 10 across the United States and all that sort of thing. But now that we have orthos and that sort of thing, I think that would be an interesting, somewhat of an interesting video. You know, let's run across and see something of points of interest along the way that we can catch. Like Interstate 40 as an example. I've got previous videos that I've done actually recently where you actually have the crater and the meteor crater over there next to Winslow, Arizona. You can see that in X-plane, which is pretty cool. Pretty new, pretty neat. Kind of out of position a little bit. I think go to 250, heading 250, 250, and then I'll go for a little bit so we can keep the coastline in the frame. As a matter of fact, I want to take ourselves down to see if we're going north. So let's take it down to 2,500 feet. We'll lose 2,500 feet here. And then we'll come back to right around T270. So we can keep an eye on things. Just follow that coastline. There's that Spartan Gemry guy. Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to get on. I'm in proper Jeremy's server right now, and I didn't know if we want to wrap back and forth or not. So I'm over there in the Discord if you wanted to wrap back and forth. As we're sitting here flying around Southern California, trying to stay on the coast. Coming into Oxnard right now. Very cool. Yeah, I've got my push to talk set up on Discord, so, and yeah, it's working, so that's good. Which is going to make things a little bit difficult for me instead of just voice activation, but that's all right. I'll wing it. Do what I do best. Yeah, this is just, like I was saying before at the start of the video, this is just a fly around, just, you know, check things out. No, I've been having computer issues, so I had to reinstall my computer. It's actually doing two things. It's, you know, just flying around, just having fun, just flying around, and then also it's checking to make sure that all my orthos are working again like they're supposed to. So it's doing double duty. And I think that's military right there. That's not Oxnard. That's, I forgot what military base that is. I'd have to actually look it up. But there is Oxnard and I forgot the name of the other town. It's Oxnard and the other one. Very nice. Spartan, very nice. Yeah, there's nothing really to see over here on the other side. I mean, yeah, you do have the Channel Islands out there in the distance, but there's not really much to see. Most all the cool stuff's over here. The stuff to look at anyway. Very, very cool. Yeah, see an airplane off in the distance. A couple of them, actually. They're out just joy flying as well. Let's see if I can undo that, and I can just let it make my turn and then have it do the wing level. That way I can maintain my altitude within now there's Oxnard right there. Camarillo is off in the distance. Yeah, you find that it's really funny how different areas of the world end up looking the same. They're two different areas, and then you got areas where they're just totally different. As we are coming around here, and we're going in, I think that, yeah, I hear you got, I hear you got some audio. You're very low, but I do hear you.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
There you are. How you doing, sir?
I am doing absolutely fine.
Very good. That's all. That's what's important.
I can hear you twice, but there's a delay on the live stream.
Yeah, I probably want to turn off the live stream audio. As I'm sitting here trying to get the airplane where I want it to go, because there's Highway 26 right there, and then of course you're going to see it 5 seconds later.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get. What I'm trying to do is I was going to shoot down Highway 120 or 126 from this. I think it's Victoria. I think is what they call this area. I forgot. I have to go look it up. It's been there. It's been so long since I've been there. And then you just follow it on out, and you just go right on into Santa Clarita, and and that sort of thing, and end up going right back into my home base. But I'm just doing a circle around because, like I said, I'm just checking out my orthos, making sure my orthos are working correctly. Been having a lot of, issues with my computer and whatnot, and that sort of thing. But that's par for the course. That's what it's all about, unfortunately.
Yeah, fair enough.
So what have you been doing with yourself? Anything exciting worth reporting?
Well, I mean, I was sculpting a small starship, but I decided I didn't like the design, so I put it aside. So now I'm trying to design a new one to fit what I need, and then I'm going to sculpt that once I've got everything right.
You sculpting it out of clay or out of plastic?
Plastic.
Plastic. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I've been watching the Orville, and the Orville's been an awesome show, but I'm a sci-fi nut anyway, so.
Yeah.
Haven't watched this season of Star Trek or Discovery, and because I don't really care to.
Yeah.
From what everybody says, I guess it's not really worth watching. I guess I don't know. I haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek Discovery Season 2 is better than Season 1, but that's such a low bar, it doesn't really mean much.
Right, right. And there is Santa Paula Airport right there. That we're just kind of, it's going to go out of our view here in just a second. So we're in Santa Paula right now. We are taking a bit of a turbulence. But yeah, I don't care. You know, just like whatever, you know.
Mm.
For me, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in I'm in the Trek Yards Discord as well.
Uh-huh.
There are a lot of Discovery fans in there.
Yeah.
They keep going on about how Discovery will line up with the original series perfectly, and that's what they're waiting for. But I think, to be honest, they're just waiting on... They're basically preying on a false hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Because, again, I haven't watched the show, but what I saw in Season 1, if they just would have said it wasn't related to Star Trek, then I'd be cool with it. Or Star Trek, I'd be cool with it. If they just said it wasn't, then that'd be fine. But instead, you know, Seth is killing it, whereas, you know, the others are not.
It's funny because a lot of the Discovery fans claim that the Orville is shit.
Yeah.
So their sort of opinions on reality, their personal reality must be very warped.
They've got an investment in that time in watching the show, and so they don't want to admit that, you know what, I was supporting the wrong thing. That's the dilemma that they're at. And I can understand that. I support X-Plane. You know, I don't support prepared 3D as far as flight simulators are concerned. So, but But what I usually tell people is they ask me, well, hey, Dion. Of course, now we're going off on a flight simulation tangent here. But they say, hey, Dion, which is better, X-Plane or or prepared 3D? And I'm just sitting there going, well, I would suggest you try both and make your own decision, because personally I'm going to be biased and tell them flat out that X-Plane is, because I've got all this investment. I got my money tied up, and it's the same thing that somebody says, you know, with prepared 3D. They're going to say, well, hey, this is better than X-Plane. That's because they've got all their investment tied up into it. So with either with that simulator itself or with all the Microsoft Flight Simulator, FSX, all that stuff before. So, it's all in what camp you're in. And, I'm in the X-Plane camp, and I'm cool with that as long as they keep on, making the product better. Then, my loyalty goes is what works for me the best, Yeah. And a prepared 3D ends up having a bunch of orthos in there, and they change up all their stuff and make it more like X-Plane, and X-Plane, rests on their laurels and doesn't do any more, creation or adding to their content. Then obviously it's like, see you later, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I can see what you mean with that. I mean, at the same time, also there's the whole thing of a lot of Discovery fans are very sort of militant, so they'll attack you if you don't like it.
That just tells you how much I'm sitting here trying to climb, because I'm about ready to run into this side of the mountain here, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
That just tells you that how they're not Star Trek fans, because Star Trek fans are not supposed to act that way. They're kind of like, hey, if that's cool. If that's what you like, that's fine. You don't go militant on it.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of from what I saw of it, of the updated, doggone it, I'm having a mind blank right now. Shoot, it came out in 1978, 79. Cylons and everything.
Right. Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. I wasn't a fan of the new Battlestar Galactica, but am I going to sit there and poo-poo on it? No, because it was designed for a generation newer than me. I'm 53 years old, so well, the original Star Wars, the original Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers in the 25th century is all going to be my time. It's going to be what I like because I was a kid or a young person, you know, in my teens when that was aired, and at that time I was watching TV. Of course, as soon as I got my car in 1981, you know, movies, television, everything else kind of went out the window because I had my car. You know, I'm going to go places and do things, you know. Like right now, if I had a real airplane, you'd be seeing this, you know, with real content, and I wouldn't be sitting behind a computer. I'd be sitting there flying for real. But, you know, we all know that's a money thing that I don't have the money to do. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're coming into Santa Clarita. Now, I don't think we're going to see it, but we're going to go ahead and come over here and see if we can see any kind of resemblance of Six Flags Magic Mountain. I know where it kind of is. I don't know if we're going to see it or not.
That's a very nice place, I will admit.
California is a beautiful place. It's just got a lot of problems, and there's Magic Mountain, but it doesn't show all the rides or anything. But I think that's it right there. Well, right here. It didn't look like it. No, I'm mistaken on that, I think. Oh, here it is. Okay, I was looking at the wrong spot. It's right there. There it is. Where my mouse was? Is my mouse showing up? Yeah, there it is. My mouse.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, that's Magic Mountain right there. In that area, once it comes into view. I see my granddaughter's taking off. They're going to go somewhere. That's where the Highway 26 ties into the 15 freeway, or the 5 freeway, which you in turn go on into Bakersfield.
Yep.
And Lake Hughes is right over here. But yeah, like I said, for me, you know, I have no interest in Star Trek Discovery. It's not. It's just, you know, there's not really anything I want to get into with that. So to be honest with you, I haven't found anything that appealed me, wanted me to, you know, to invest my time into it. And two, there you got this big bugaboo because, like I said, with I said before with oh crap, what's Dark Matter. I really got into Dark Matter. Watched all the 4 or 5 or 3 episodes or three seasons.
Yeah.
Got the 3 seasons, end of the 3rd season, and they turn around and cancel the son of a bitch. Oh, that pissed me off. It's like, dudes, I got my time invested into your show, and then, you know, Sci-Fi turns around and cancels it. You know, pisses me off.
Yeah, they've been
doing
doing that with a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah. And it's like, you know. Yeah, see, this is Lake Hughes. That's an earthen dam right there. Driven by it countless times over the years. Orthos.
See, that's why I'm starting on my own sci-fi project. I mean, we do have great sci-fi shows at the minute, and that's great.
Right.
But at the same time, they go on as long as someone who we have no sort of control over says so. At least with my own sci-fi project, I can at least keep it going as long as I want it to go.
You know, with games, movies, TVs, all that sort of thing, it's all because of money. It's greed.
Yep.
It's all it really is. When you boil down to it, I was listening to Mary's, when Mary had one of her shows on. I was watching Mary's show, and everybody was talking about, you know, trying to, you know, what's going on with why is everything doing what it's doing, blah blah blah. And I'm just sitting there yelling into my computer. It's you know, it's money. It's all about money. Everything in our society today is all about money. Before it was, you would do it because of the love for it, you know, that you liked it. Now it's shareholders, and you got to please the shareholders and that sort of thing. And because of that, you know, especially in games, I mean, Fallout 76 as an example with Bethesda and EA, Electronic Arts, and all their games, and now Blizzard Entertainment. I mean, the holy grail of gaming developers, and that was for for the fans and for, you know, the players was Blizzard Entertainment. And Blizzard is just, you know, I mean, Mike Morhaime left, who was there at the beginning, and he's gone. And you know, they just said, forget it. You know, those guys said, we're done. You know, we're not. You know, this isn't what we built, and it's all to take care of shareholders and whatnot, and it's all about the money. So, what Geeks and Gamers talk about and complain about, and what World Class Sport, what Jeff, I mean, everybody knows it. It's just that it is what it is. It's all about the money, and the only way to basically excuse the expression, bitch slap these people, is just to bitch slap with your wallet and just don't buy their products. And eventually, you know, it's going to bite them in the ass. Well, what they're banking on, like Disney's just banking on, is they're just banking on that we're just going to, you know, we're just going to go through these tough times, especially Disney, because they have enough diversity in their portfolio, for lack of a better metaphor, that they can sit there and shit on the old fans and not care because they've got the financial resources to back it up. And so, which is a bummer. Same with Electronic Arts, Blizzard, Activision, same way. Those guys have got so much money that they can just sit there and say, hey, you know, we can just sit there and crap on you, on the old fans, and we don't care. We don't want you. I wish they would just say that flat out. Say, you know what, old fans, we just don't want you anymore. You know, we're done with you. You guys, we want your money if you choose to give it. We don't care, because we're after the millennials now. Anybody born 2000 and newer, for lack of a better term, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're going for, which is kind of stupid, because all the old farts like me, who are rapidly approaching 53 years old, want, you know, we're the ones that got the money. Well, not me personally, but my age group has got the financial dollars to spend, you know, on your products. Now, people like me, a lot of people like me who don't go buy toys. My toys are my flight simulation. That's my toy. It's not buying, you know, the regular toys that you would go at Toys R Us to buy, that hopefully is coming back. A lot of memories of Toys R Us. But that sort of thing, you know, my age group is not going after the toys, but they will still go to your movies over and over again if it's a good movie. I still haven't seen Alita yet, and I'd kind of like to see Alita. I'm trying to talk my wife into go seeing it so we can just go on a movie date. Just me and my wife just take off and go see the movie. But she hasn't bit yet. And, you know, I mentioned it to her, but I'm going to have to be a little bit more aggressive, you know, and say, hey, you know, let's go see this movie. Because from what everybody says, it's a really good movie, so I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I kind of think it's the same with I think it's the same with, to be honest, CBS and Star Trek a bit. I mean, I think they've gotten so big that they feel they don't need the old fans anymore. Of which, to be honest, I kind of classify myself as being one of the old fans. I mean, I'm not your age, to be honest, but
right.
I mean, I grew up with the original series, the motion picture, and Next Generation.
Right.
And then I got into Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise later. But it's very strange, because with Star Trek, Discovery in particular, they seem to be offering up this really sort of distorted version of Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, if new people, if the younger audience like that, that's fine. But at the same time, CBS is also trying to drag the old audience into it as well by saying it's connected to the original series constantly.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
Yeah, and I don't know why. They're trying to eat their have their cake and eat it too, and you're trying to keep the old fans in there by saying tied to the old one, but then we're trying to deviate it from, people have talked about this, time and time again. So we're kind of we're kind of treading on old information now, but that's okay. But yeah, it's like they just don't, they want their cake and eat it too, and you can't have it both ways. You gotta put your plant your flag in the ground, either this or that, in certain situations, and that's just the way it is. And yeah, I mean, CBS, I don't know their portfolio. I don't know how big they truly are. I don't know if they can absorb having the same mentality that in Electronic Arts and Epic Games and a Blizzard or an Activision, because I know those companies have enough cash flow where they can tell their old fans to go F themselves, and it's not going to hurt them. That's just a sad reality.
That's why I brought it up, to be honest, because I mean, everything I've seen seems to indicate that CBS doesn't have that massive portfolio as you mentioned, but they seem to be going down the same route anyway. So it kind of boggles the brain, really, because it doesn't seem to make any logical sense.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't understand what they're thinking, because they are they're really shooting themselves in the foot, because they they can't I don't think they have the cash flow to do it. But then again, I don't know how many things. I know they're into TV and stuff, but as we all know, TV is dying. TV as we know it is dying. It's YouTube is TV today, and it's us creating our own content. I just wish that somebody would come out with a new YouTube, or YouTube just say, well, hey, wait a minute, let's just back off here and let the creators create and that sort of thing, instead of having all these algorithms that you have to hold your mouth right and stand on your tippy toes and twiddle around 3 times in order for you to be able to get the views. Like this right here, I mean, you and I are sitting here rapping back and forth on my channel. I'm going to get very little traction on this. Nobody's ever going to, bottom line, nobody's going to see this, which is disappointing, because this is what I like. This is what I was wanting for a long time, to be honest with you, Spartan, is I want to be able to have somebody come into the chat channel, we rap back and forth. Or I could be a silent person in the background, say my 2 cents as I'm sitting here flying, and then actually have a show where, like Proper Jeremy as an example, could come in there and they can have their show, or World Class Bullshitters, or whatever. I'll just sit there and just rap back and forth while I'm just sitting there flying around. So basically I'm contributing, and then we just get it shared between all of our channels, and so we have more than just looking at a picture as people are talking. There's actually things going on in the screen. It's just, of course, it's flying in my case. But that would be cool. That'd be kind of a good thing to do. With the community type thing. Say, well, hey Dion, come on in there. We're going to do this show. Why don't you sit there and fly around and go wherever you want? And I would just make a show. I would do my stuff, do my spiel while the actual show is going on, and then I'd just be in the background providing the entertainment as far as visual while people are talking. Like Doomcock talking back and forth. I wouldn't be playing Star Trek Online while he's doing that, because of Star Trek Online, with the way it's going today. I haven't played Star Trek Online in a very long time. Nothing against Star Trek Online, it's just that Perfect World is another one of those companies and it's a Chinese company that owns Cryptic Studios, and Cryptic Studios is the way their license is set up with CBS, with their license, they basically got to kiss CBS's ass, or CBS will pull it. And I'm surprised CBS, I think the reason why some of the elements of Discovery are now into Star Trek Online is for the sole purpose is so Cryptic Studios does not lose their license to be able to have Star Trek content, because if they lost their license, they're done. Star Trek Online's over.
I agree completely. I've said those exact words. It was a few months ago now. Yeah. To be honest, I mean what you've just said is my exact reason for thinking why Discovery is in Star Trek Online. It becomes amazingly obvious just how, for lack of a better term, broken Discovery is in Star Trek. When you have, because you've got 3 different Federation intros you can do now. You've got the normal 25th century, which is basically the next generation. You've got the original series, and then you've got Discovery. I've done both the Discovery intro and the original series intro. The 2 are absolutely nothing alike, and
Right.
it becomes even more obvious when you put them next to each other. It's like on YouTube. I forget who it was, but one guy did a video as a side-by-side comparison just of Spock's quarters on the Enterprise and the Disco Prize. It's amazing how different they are. They don't even feel like the same room.
Yeah. What I'm doing right now is I just posted my stream in the videos in Discord so that people can see that that I'm streaming. But yeah, like I said, I think what Star Trek Online should have done, and they may have done this, I don't know because I haven't played the game in a long time, but what they should have done is they should have had a doorway, for lack of a better term. Have that doorway where you're sitting here in your ship and you go through this doorway, and then boom, now you're in the so-called prime Star Trek universe with Discovery the way it is, and then basically have that separation between the 2 universes. Realistically, I mean, it's just a different universe altogether, and then it would have been more acceptable. But I don't know if they have it that way or not. Do they have it that way or not? Do you know?
They don't. You can visit the Kelvin timeline through special circumstances during missions, but as far as Discovery is concerned, Star Trek Online imposed the CBS line that Discovery is the same timeline as the original series and leads into the original series.
I see.
Despite everything visually saying otherwise.
Right.
But again, going back to the earlier point, I think they do that. They do it that way, basically because they've been forced to.
Yep.
They can't create canon, basically.
Right.
And even if they did have it that way, where they listed Discovery as an alternate universe, they'd probably be shut down by CBS.
Yep.
Because CBS wants to push the idea that Discovery is in the same universe as the original series.
Yep, I agree.
So, no matter what we may think or want, they're kind of forced to do it that way, even when it doesn't make sense, which is kind of sad, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can, fortunately, basically, I mean, I do the Discovery stuff just so I've got it, just so I've done it completely. I mean, I can. I mean, it's like the JJ Trek. I can accept it as. I can accept it as Star Trek. I mean, it's a bad Star Trek, sure, but I can accept it as Star Trek. What I can't accept is the fact that it's in the same universe or timeline 10 years before the original series, because it makes no logical sense.
Right. Absolutely. There's just no way with all the technology they have, it's the technology they have is more than what's on the next generation, from what I can tell. And so it's just kind of like, it doesn't make sense.
Holographic communicators, for one. I mean, in the original canon, they didn't get those until Deep Space Nine at the earliest.
Right, which was after Next Generation.
But yeah, in Discovery Season 2, they can make one offhand comment. Basically, God, it is so bad, right? I mean, obviously, you know, we complained about Starfleet using hologram communicators,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
So, so in order to basically get rid of that, they did this really convoluted, backhanded way of having Pike say this one weird line of, "Oh, the holographic communicators have always been a problem. Let's remove them from the Enterprise." As if that just resolves it. As if that just resolves everything.
Right.
But
This,
with that being said, I need to hop away for a second. I will be
alrighty.
back shortly.
Alrighty. Well, currently we are that's Lake Isabella right over there. Of course, we kind of have our field of view here. That's Lake Isabella, and we're just kind of flying around at 13,500 feet. I thought I'd just go over, jump on over Highway 14, which in turn Highway 395. We'll just go right up the 395 and just kind of enjoy ourselves looking at the mountains and whatnot of the might do a landing or two just to practice landing. Coming up to Inyokern, and Inyokern's about 20 miles away off of our 1 o'clock over here. We're not going to go that far. Fortunately, we're in an airplane that is pressurized and has oxygen, so we don't have to worry about. We can go up to through the flight levels without any issues. And we are doing 260 knots indicated with a 16 knot tailwind at 330 knots. Lots and lots of camping spots all up here in the Sierra Nevada mountains. A couple of fish hatcheries in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and then they go and they plant all the streams. I think twice a year in March. At least that's what it used to be in March, and then also in September is the two timelines that they plant, or just towards the end. I know my grandparents and my dad used to take me to the Sierra Nevada mountains to go camping, usually in September. It'd take me, I mean, the school would start, public school would start, and you're 1 week into school, and my dad pulls me out and says, "Hey, it's time for us to go camping, see you later, bye." And then he just takes us out, and then we go camping, and we come back. Public school system didn't like that, but because they get money off of the way the San Diego school system worked back in the 70s is, and probably still works that way today, I don't know. But the way it works is that for every pupil that's in a chair, that particular school gets money. So if you are sick or you are out for that day, that school doesn't get the revenue. Basically, we're a bunch of, we're a bunch of dollar signs, and funny how that works out, right? Along with everything else. We're a bunch of dollar signs when we set our booties in the seat to go watch a movie, But in the case of the school, that's why they really pushed you back in the 70s to make sure that you were in the classroom, because they get their money. And of course, even then, back in the 1970s, there was a bit of corruption going on there, where people got the bright ideas like, "Oh, hey, let's do what we can to get these kids in school, or fake the attendance, or do whatever." Yes, they had checks and balances in place, but if you knew what you're doing, you could game the system. I'm sure it was done. Well, there is highway. See, from where we're at, we're probably already on 395 already, and you can see off in the distance there, that is a bunch of lava, because that was a volcano. It kind of bubbled up a little bit, but you don't see the standard volcano, but there's all volcanic rock and stuff over in that area. And we're going to turn here in a minute. One thing I wish this airplane did is would have a bank limiter. So in other words, when I would make my turn, it would limit the amount of bank. Because like right now we're jumping all the way to 45 degrees in banking, making the airplane 45 degrees, roughly, maybe 30, but still, we're banking a lot. And like I say, that is 395. I'm keeping it 13,500 feet, which because we're kind of going. I'm going to actually change it. I'm going to go down to 12.5 here in a second. But you can see right there, right along that, there's a trail that goes right up in there. And you can, there's, fishing holes and stuff up in there. Go ahead and climb down, get down to about, let's go to 9,500 feet. Let's see if we can get 9,500 feet out of this. Now we're on the right side of the compass, so let's go to 10,000. We're on the right side of the compass, so let's go 10,500 feet. So like I said, today it's just a scenic flight. Just go fly around, have fun. Nothing serious. I'm in Proper Jeremy's Discord channel, and I got Spartan Jeremy with me. We're just kind of rapping back and forth, but talking about Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever. And hey, it's always good to get some people in there that want to rap back and forth, talking about whatever's on everybody's mind. Go ahead and go to the 360-degree cam and take a look outside. There you can see all of the lava and whatnot. Lava came all the way down right here, and that right there is representing a wall of lava that you can see when you're going up the Highway 395. You can go out there and you can see that. It's about, I'd say about 200, 300 feet from, where my mouse vantage point is all the way up to the top right there. My dad and I have stopped by there, a few times over the years. And I think that's Little Lake right there, coming off on my left wing. Of course, you can see all the lava. Don't really see a dome, don't really see, a volcano as such, but I guess you could call it, right underneath the airplane right now is where the source of the lava flow, you can see. It kind of spilled over maybe millions of years ago. Geography is interesting to me, to see how things work. You can see how the lava cooled and then moved on, cooled. A lot of people don't they don't think nothing about it, but when you sit there and start to analyze, it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. It kind of flows like water. And how it's still here after thousands or millions of years. I would say millions of years. We are at 10,500 feet, still doing 260 knots indicated. Because if we went anything below that, then we'd have to slow down below 250 knots as per the regulations. And let's take a look here. What do we got here? We got, I'd have to actually go to a map and look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize that real quick. Well, actually, I don't have to. Yeah, I do. And then I'm going to bring up, as we're sitting there looking at the ground, I'm trying to bring up my map so I can see.
Somebody is connected.
Somebody's now connected. I'm going to bring up somebody's map so I can actually see where I'm at. And that way I can say, yeah, that's so-and-so place, that kind of thing. I'm logging into SimBuddy right now. Now, if you happen to be, you happen to have access to SimBuddy, type in SimBuddy. I think you have to create an account though to access the map. I think. I hope not. But anyway, you would see me on the SimBuddy map and where I am at actually. And just for perspective, let me go ahead and go back over here. And I'll jump on left monitor. And here on the SimBuddy map is currently where we are at. Zoom in a little bit. And like I say, we'll just take off. We'll just go right up to 395 here. Just have some fun. Fly right up to 395. And we'll just go until we get bored and we're tired. And we don't want to stream anymore. Or at least until my wife gets home anyway. All these are fissures that was created in the ground that made the water cool up and whatnot. The elevation is, I think, 2,000, 3,000 places, 4,000 feet. Of course, up when you get up into here, I think, matter of fact, I think right there is Mount Whitney. Welcome back.
Thank you. Barton is on deck.
Yeah, I'm looking at Mount Whitney right now. Mount Whitney, I think, is 14,300 feet or so. So that should pop up in the screen here in a minute.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
It's supposed to be the tallest point in the continental United States.
Huh.
California's got a lot of good stuff, you know. Got a lot of good stuff, but then it's got problems.
Yeah. I can't think what the tallest point of the United Kingdom would be. I assume it's somewhere in Scotland. No. Wales, perhaps? Somewhere around there.
Yeah, geography of the UK, don't have a clue, man. Don't have a clue. Never been there. Just to go visit. Like to check it out. To go visit one day. Just to check it out. I'd rather fly there.
Yeah.
Can't really drive there, right?
Well, I mean, kind of depends.
Get a paddle car so I can just paddle my way across the pond.
Well, I mean, using a ship and just letting the winds blow you there used to help in the past.
Yeah, yeah. Wooden ships? What are they?
You saying that reminds me of Star Wars when Obi-Wan Kenobi describes the lightsaber.
This is your father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
How does he describe it again? An elegant weapon from a bygone age.
An elegant weapon with a more civilized aim.
Ah. Yeah.
I had that movie. My uncle was my mom. So he's not. He might be my cousin because he was my mom's cousin, first cousin. So that would make him my second cousin, I guess. I guess is how that works out.
Yep.
Anyway, he was, he was older than my mom. This is back in this is 78, 79, I guess it was 79. And we had a Betamax, and so he got a Betamax copy of Star Wars, and I would just sit there and play that over and over. New Hope, of course at the time it was just Star Wars. I just play that over and over and over, and at the time I would learn every dialogue of every character. I mean, that was it. That was my show during that time period.
To be completely honest, I will admit, when it came to Star Wars, Uh, I will admit, when I first saw it, I wasn't really a fan of the. I wasn't really a fan of the original trilogy as such. Because I mean, it was to me it was a good movie, but the sort of more mystical aspects of it was something that never really grabbed me.
Do you think it's because it's a different time? See, at my time,
Oh,
it was
yeah, that.
it was it. I mean, there was nothing. I mean, there was no, you know, some people don't understand. There was nothing like that movie ever. The closest thing was Space Odyssey 2001. That it was Stanley Kubrick in 2001, Space Odyssey 1969. That was the closest thing, but it wasn't a Western. It wasn't a shoot 'em up. So at that time, that was it. And because, you know, kids my age at 11, 8 years old or whatever, we were right in the perfect demographic. Of course, at the time they weren't thinking demographics, you know, like we do today, where the average everyday person doesn't think about demographics and who this is catered to or whatever. At that time, the mindset of a moviegoer was just go watch a movie and go see it. We just have more information now than we did then, so we have difference of opinion now. But at that time, that was it. There was nothing. And seeing it for the first time, everybody, no matter how old you were, it didn't matter unless you were my grandpa's age, who fought in World War II, and my grandpa's age, they didn't really care. You know, they were at that different level of maturity, so they didn't care. But my mom and dad's age, who was at that time were in their late 20s, late 20s. They were they were in their late 20s at that time, early 30s, maybe early 30s, and they loved it just as much as I did, you know. And so it was just because it was nothing, nothing like it. And so because of that, there was nothing like it. That's why it was such a big deal, and to this day, and it's very rare to find movies today that you can get that same feeling of like there's just been nothing like it. This is just totally awesome. Is it out there? Is it out there to come? Sure, but right now there just hasn't been anything out there that can say, this isn't gonna grab me like Star Wars did, for me anyway.
I never really thought of it that way. I mean, yeah, I was introduced to the original trilogy at the same time as the original series and Next Generation, more or less. But no, I don't think it was necessarily the just the fact that you and I are of different generations. I just think it was more. I mean, Star Trek did put me in a more scientific mind when it came to things. So the whole idea of the Force kind of bothered me, is because it was this sort of. It was metaphysical. It wasn't really. It wasn't really something that could necessarily be understood or explained.
Right.
So that kind of bothered me. And then of course you've got that opening crawl of long ago in a galaxy far, far away. But then there's humans running everywhere.
Right.
So that put me right out of it, to be honest. Those were the two kind of things that sort of got me about it. But I mean, to be honest, the prequels actually helped me quite a bit. I mean, when you had Liam Neeson, I mean, obviously it was kind of weird compared to the original trilogy, but when you had Liam Neeson describing that the midichlorians allowed people to tap into the Force, or in a weird sort of way almost were the Force. To be honest, that helped me understand it quite a bit more. So I I got a better appreciation of it that way.
And see, for me, as an original guy, original Star Wars, I didn't care. But also, I was older. I took my daughter to see it. I think my daughter was in her teens when it came out in 1999. Yeah. And, or was it 98? 99. I think it was 99 is episode 1. And we stood in line for 8 hours waiting, you know, at the mall here in Lancaster, or actually in Palmdale, waiting for it to see the movie. And I thought the movie was fine. Did I think, oh, this is the greatest thing ever? No, because I've already had that experience, you know, back in 1977. But still, I thought, and my maturity level was different now, you know, than it was in 1977. So I thought, yeah, that was a good movie. I was entertained. I was happy. And then,
yep.
You know, then all the other ones. Now, because, you know, with real world issues, I didn't get a chance to go to the theaters. No, I think I saw. No, I take that back. I did see the other two, episode 3 and 4, or 2 and 3. I did see them in the theaters as well. But I was starting to get to that where I was like, I'll just wait till it comes out on video, or I'll wait till it does that, because video started becoming the main thing. And
yeah.
So, and I'm at that point now. It's kind of like, you know, I'm trying to get my wife to go see Alita, but if I don't get a chance to go see it, I'll just wait till it comes out on video, or I'll wait till it comes out on Netflix or YouTube or wherever it comes on. I mean, I've got plenty of other things to do that I don't have to go see it. You know, I'm just dying to go see it. I just, you know, and again, that's maybe a me thing. That may be a personal thing for me. You know, I'll just kind of like, you know, if I can't go see it, my wife doesn't get into it to make it an event, then I'll just wait till it comes out, you know, on video or in some other form that I won't go to the theaters to see it, because I'm not going to see it by myself. I'm not going to, you know, there. But if it's, you know, and of course now you're not going to have that excitement. You still probably could. I guess you still could have that excitement now for the movie Alita, you know, with more and more people, you know, the word of mouth getting out, you know, with that movie. So, but like I said, I'm at that age now. It's kind of like, I'll go see it when, you know, when it comes out on video.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of at that point. I mean, admittedly, having the money to go to the theater every time a movie comes out is a bit impossible for me personally. But that's due to my family situation.
Right. Understood.
But so yeah, usually we tend to just wait until something comes out on DVD.
Right. Yeah.
That's when we go and get it and watch it.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't have a problem with any of the movies. I mean, even Return of the Jedi and the other one, it's not like I'm just sitting there saying, oh, that, but I didn't go to the theaters to see it either. So I don't have that financial investment. You know, my kids acquired the movie from means. Let me just say it that way. And so by them requiring it from means, because we are streaming, so I'm just going to say it that way and leave it at that. By them requiring it the way they did, then I watched the movie. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. You know, they're gonna destroy Luke Skywalker. Fine, you know, just like my Luke Skywalker was over in in Episode 6, as far as I'm concerned. So, but again, that's me. You know, everybody has their personal takes on it. And I wish they would have made Luke better. I wish they would have made him a badass and more of a mentor. I wish they would have went totally different direction than they did. I think they should have just like they should have done, like they've done in the past with other franchises, just ease the transition between the old guard and the new guard. But yeah,
well, I think, to be honest, I think Luke's an interesting situation, because with all of the history he has, anything would have been better than what they did.
Yep.
But again, you can say the same thing for example, just even, alright, Luke Skywalker is a special case because he's got a massive amount of history behind him. But then again, look at Snoke. Snoke was a virtually unknown character.
Yeah.
What they did with him, anything would have been better.
Absolutely. You know,
so it's kind of weird, because it's not necessarily just it's one of those things where anything would have been better than what they actually did.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I mean, it's not even a case of asking for a ideal situation.
Yeah, I mean they could. I mean they really screwed the, for lack of a better term, screwed the pooch on this big time, because
Yeah.
with Snoke they could have done a movie or something to flesh out his backstory better. Not necessarily this movie, but they could have, they could have went down a direction where they could have, you know, had, why did he become the way he did? Who was he? Was he Darth Plagueis or not? Was he,
Yep.
who was he? They could have done all kinds of things, and it just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense what they did, but it is what it is. But we are currently in Bishop, California, and currently is where we're at right now, and I'm going to go off in the direction that I'm pointing here with my mouse here in just a second, and we are going to head towards Mammoth Mountain and continue on this adventure following a 395. So yeah, so that's I agree with you. It's just they could have went so many different directions, and they screwed up.
Going back to that point, I mean, I like I said, on my first viewing, the original trilogy didn't really click for me, but I mean later after, I mean you could say I was basically always kind of a cynic towards things. If things didn't make sense to me, I didn't like them, even if they were sort of small or large. But to be honest, after the prequels, when sort of Liam Neeson explained what the Force was theoretically, I got a better appreciation for the original trilogy, and that sort of opened the story up for me more.
Yeah, see, for me, it didn't bother me that they had to explain scientifically what the midichlorians were. I know a lot of people go on that and say, they hate it, but it didn't bother me. It's like, that's fine. I mean, that justifies why some people have them, and some people are Force users, and some of them are not. That didn't bother me, and then I went on about my business. I didn't care. I didn't care. So I'm like, oh, that's fine. Whatever. That's fine with me. But well, with Star Wars: The Old Republic, what they did is they made the non-Jedi so not necessarily overpowered, but so on the nose where they were equals, and it made it rough because you're just sitting there going, well, I'm a Jedi, I'm a Sith, I'm supposed to be a badass here, and here this bounty hunter's kicking my ass. WTF? Yep. I should just be able to stranglehold the guy, kill him, and then be on my way. So. Yep. Them making the Old Republic, which I still like the game. I still play it from time to time because it's free to play, and I do have money investment in that game. Yep. But still, it kind of pisses me off that they're not canon. I just wish, I wish Disney could redeem themselves by looking into the the extended universe and add movies to that. I mean, I'd love to see the the Revan story and Malik and the Mandalorians and all the stuff that is in that lore that was created by the community. You talk about getting good vibes back with the community, with all the community created all this stuff, and they turn around and make movies about that stuff, and then give credit to the people, the authors of all the books like the Thrawn series. They'd make movies about the Thrawn, and the guy who created the Thrawn, give him props, and that sort of thing. You talk about having, the fans being like, okay, Disney, you're not assholes anymore. You just turned yourself around by acknowledging that the extended universe is a thing, and that the fans created. We love you. For lack of a better term.
To be honest, I don't necessarily think that would be a good thing, because from what I've seen, Lucasfilm does pick things from the extended universe, but then they seem to distort them.
Yeah.
So I mean that's supposedly how we got Kylo that's supposedly how we got Kylo Ren. I mean, they took the I mean, obviously they took the character, based him on characters that already existed in the extended universe, but then this Kylo Ren name seems to have come from some background character that didn't mean anything in the extended universe. They literally just changed one letter.
Right.
But now it's weird because, I mean, Kylo Ren could have been great. I mean, sure, he's a...
Hold that thought a second.
Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say, because we had 5 people in the house, and I just want to make sure give a shout out to everybody that's in the house watching right now. We are currently, me and Spartan Jeremy are just sitting there rapping back and forth on Proper Jeremy's Discord channel, and we're just talking about Star Wars and Star Trek, anything else that comes our way, as we're currently just flying up the 395 freeway from KWJF, Lancaster, California, all the way up to just until the stream decides to die on us, and we're just kind of just rapping back and forth and just having a good time, just, you know, just relaxing. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I've forgotten what I was going to say now.
Sorry about that.
No,
and
that's all right.
And I see Bug Eater 64 is in the house. Definitely appreciate it, sir. I hope you are doing well. And there is Mammoth Airport, KMMH, that we are currently passing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about ready to make my turn here because now we're going off the beaten path.
You guys in America have an insane amount of space.
Oh yes, absolutely. Resources, everything. That's why, you know, everybody wants to be in America.
Yeah.
Because now I'm over here. We're in the high desert right now. We're in the desert, and that was Mammoth right there, and Mammoth Mountain over there is all back in that direction, which we're kind of getting out of our field of view pretty rapidly here. But yeah, I'm trying to get back along with the 395, get back on track with the 395.
Just remember not to crash.
No, so far we're good. We got 24 gallons in one tank and 37 gallons in another tank, and we're not going very fast. Yes, we're doing 260 knots at 10,000 feet, but we're all right. Just looking to see if there's any points of interest, you know, anything interesting to see. Okay, there's a 395 right there. Now, of course, it's going to be out of our field of view as I make my turn. Like I say, I wish there was a bank limiter on this airplane that would make it so you don't bank quite as hard. Because you are, but if you're by myself, I wouldn't care. But like I said, you know, it's a good airplane. This Epic 1000 is a fine airplane. There's that entertainment hacker himself, and if you feel well, I appreciate you stopping by, Entertainment Hacker. Yeah, we're on Proper Jeremy's YouTube Discord channel. So if you want to stop in and say a big howdy, if you have Proper Jeremy's Discord channel, you can stop in and say hi if you choose to do so, if you got the time. But I definitely appreciate you stopping by to say hi. Just kind of doing a flight. It's just a random flight. Just having fun, rapping with Spartan Jeremy, just talking about Star Wars and Star Trek. That sort of thing. Everything
us nerds love.
Exactly. Of course, I nerd out on aviation and flight simulation and whatnot, and as well. We're kind of following the 395, which I kind of got back in track here, and we're up in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Matter of fact, you can see a dome right there.
Oh yeah.
A little bubble in the crust of the earth.
Oh, speaking of aircraft, right? You know how, for example, Star Wars and Star Trek have a lot of fighters.
Yes.
Does that ever bother you? I mean,
No.
it always.
Suspension of disbelief. You just go with it. It's a movie. Just enjoy it. That's how I took it as.
Fair enough. I mean, it's just always made me wonder because I mean, if you'd think a spacefaring civilization would have pretty well, if they had any sense, a spacefaring civilization would have pretty advanced weaponry. Obviously, in Star Wars, that isn't the case, which is why the first Death Star blew up.
Yeah. But like I said, it's just, you know, the way George Lucas designed it. He just designed it to, you know, to be World War II, and that's fine. Like I say, I just took it as an enjoyment. I took it as a movie and just enjoyed it the way it was. You know, just I didn't breed too much into it. It's when you start. The only time that I get my ruffles feathered, I think that's how you call it, is when, you know, they start deviating away from canon or trying to underwrite or destroy canon, i.e. Star Trek right now. You know,
yeah.
That's when I have a problem. If they sit there and they added something that's kind of like, this wouldn't be in that time, I don't really trip on it. It's like, whatever. That doesn't bother me. Now, we are currently coming into Mono Lake, and Mono Lake is where this is right now, and there is Lee Vining. That's what the little airport right there is. Not much activity right there, but that's Lee Vining. Lee Vining, California. It's basically a stop when you're on your 395 heading towards Reno, Nevada, Carson, Nevada,
yep.
That sort of thing. That's what Lee Vining is. Basically a grocery store, and that's about it. And I see we are coming up to weather here. Let me go ahead and pop outside with the 360 degree cam. Give a look at the area.
It's amusing how it's just depicted as basically a wall of cloud.
Oh yeah, and how detailed the clouds are with some of the mods that X-Plane 11 has is unreal. The level, but again, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, so I have the cloud details okay. But when I get into like in downtown LA, where we were just flying earlier on the start of this video, that's when my frame rates just go to hell. But like I say, we are on Proper Jeremy's Discord channel. Just me and Spark Jeremy are sitting there rapping back and forth, talking about various Star Wars, Star Trek, or whatever. It's nerdy stuff, because you know, I'm a card-carrying nerd and geek for all my life. Blame my mom for that. Trying to get around here and get away from these clouds, so I can keep and having we can still have views on the ground. And just a nice, generous flight, just kind of just tootling along. The 395 is right over there. It's going behind that up there, or I think, yeah, it's coming around. We should be coming into Bridgeport, California here in a few minutes.
Yeah. Nah.
Well, Bug Eater, I definitely appreciate the flowers. Yeah, she did good. My mom did good. My mom nerded me out on a lot of things. Now, she didn't like me flying. She forbidden for me to fly, and so here you go. I'm in a flight simulation instead. But she always was scared of me wanting to pick up flying, so which is a bummer. But that's, I think that's just a mother. You know, that's what mothers do. They want to protect their kids. And that's totally legit. Okay, well there is Bridgeport, so let me bank. Bank 300. Let's kind of fly around Bridgeport, California, which is not, especially if you're gonna know, blink too hard, you're gonna miss it. See, this is what I'd be doing in the real world if I had a real airplane. Just be going over here, flying over this stuff. Yeah, Bug Eater 64 says that's like my mom, whom hated me riding motorcycles and then becoming a motorcycle cop when it was all said and done. I, paraphrasing there, but yeah, totally understand.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by that.
And Bridgeport, nothing really famous about Bridgeport that I can think of offhand. It was like I say, just another town on your way to Reno, Nevada. If you're going up the 395, you can see the 395 is curving right along like this, and then just kind of goes right along.
Yeah.
And of course, Bridgeport's airport is 057, and of course their water source is right there. Now I need to make a turn here and get back so we can continue on our path.
I'll be back in just a second.
Alrighty. No worries. Yeah, I downloaded Sim Heaven's Trees for North America, and also Sim Heaven also had a oh, I forgot what you call it. I'm having a brain fart. Not points of interest, so I downloaded those and so I downloaded those two mods, those modifications, and there's a 395 right there that we're passing right over, that we're supposed to be following. Yeah, Bug Eater 64, I saw your video, your short little landing. That was really, really cool. Just landing that old bird, that old C-47. Awesome airplane. And that was the free version, I think you said. And there's a 395 right there as it's whining and dining around. And I'm probably going to have to increase my elevation because pretty soon here I'm going to be running into the side of these mountains. We're at 10,500 feet, so I'm going to take it 12.5. And we'll climb at 2,500 feet per minute. And I'll go ahead and take control of the airplane. Make our turn. As we're climbing to get above these mountains, I'm having to fight the autopilot a little bit because the autopilot wants to do a wing level and I'm forcing it to make its turn. And just kind of flying around, checking out the environment here in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Pretty country, very pretty country. You like the mountains. I think Lake Walker is over there. Off in the distance, right off the window seal on the right side of the plane. Here, let me go ahead. Way out there in the distance, Lake Walker. And I need to jump back to make sure that if I'm off course. How bad am I off course? Oh yeah, I'm getting bad off course. I need to get back over to actually we're gonna, yeah, let me make my right turn here, and then we're gonna go ahead and go on over to Lake Tahoe, fly over Lake Tahoe. Trying to stay below the clouds but then above the terrain so we don't eat it. And I see live traffic is seeing 2 aircraft that are in the proximity or within the range. Yeah, I was getting off course, so I was heading towards Stockton, California, and getting away. There we go. Now we're kind of back on track.
Right, I think I have a design I'm largely happy with.
Very nice.
Now I just need to draw it and lay it out.
Oh, explain the audience what you're building again, if you don't mind. Yeah, explain the audience what you were building again, so if you don't mind.
Right, at the minute, because I am unhappy with Star Trek and Star Wars, the current state they're in, I am working on my own personal science fiction project. Currently it's just a few things. Currently it's just a small thing for me and my friends. I am currently working on game miniatures which I can use slightly modified Battlefleet Gothic tabletop rules to play, so I can act out how large-scale space battles would work.
Very nice.
Because obviously in a lot of these shows and movies, obviously due to the story, most of the conflicts revolve around 1 or 2 ships aside. But with Battlefleet Gothic, you can play large armadas of multiple factions. So currently I'm in the process of designing and then building what each individual faction ship should look like and the sort of rules they would most likely have when being played.
Very nice.
As I get through that, it would be nice to have a few books. It would be nice to write a few books in future. I mean, I've got some experience writing before. I can't really draw to save my life though, so comics are kind of out of the question.
Understood. I can't draw. I can't draw crap. So.
Yeah. But yeah, then from then, I can basically do whatever I want, really. The weird. That's the kind of weird thing. I'm thinking back to Star Wars Theory. He had that Vader fan film. There was controversy around that.
Right.
That kind of made me a bit bitter, I suppose. Obviously, Lucasfilm wasn't to blame in that situation, but still, the idea of being, I forget who. Oh, that's it. Is it Oscar Isaacs who plays Poe Dameron in the new movies?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he went on. He was the one who said. I might be paraphrasing a bit, but he's the one who went on record and said, "If you don't like the movies, make your own." So I'm basically doing what he advised.
Not a problem. We can do that, or you can do that.
Yep.
I'll just stick with my flying videos and just watch whatever content comes out. Yeah, Proper Jeremy's new video he did was kind of cool. I liked that. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I don't get to watch a lot of videos. To be, I barely have any time to watch videos. To be honest.
Yeah, his video making Star Wars great again was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, right.
But what we're going to do is we're going to get over this mountain range here, which is going to be we're going into the into Lake Tahoe, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to land at Lake Tahoe or land at
Yep.
and then get myself some gas because I got 18 gallons in one tank and 20 gallons in another tank.
All right. Well, at the minute, while you're doing that, because obviously, in a space combat game, you need miniatures. For miniatures, you need bases. Obviously, so they can stand up. What I'm doing at the minute is I don't just sculpt the models. What I also, because I've got a lot of I've collected a lot of Warhammer miniatures over the years. So I make my ships basically out of wrapped plastic for Warhammer, but I also use the bases for my starships. So in order to make them look a little better, I put flying stands on them and modify them a little bit so they've got a star field on them, and then I paint them up as well. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now.
Very nice. Yeah, I see. Yeah, we're what I was just to say that we're right now. I'm seeing KTVL. I think that's what it's saying. KTVL. Yeah, KTVL, which is Tahoe.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call up the ATIS here and get what our weather is.
Right.
That's what I'm working on right now, trying to. Of course, I'm doing it off camera. But I'm waiting for it to click in here because I already know because Bridgeport's altimeter was 30.15, and this one right here. I'm trying to find out where the.
I tried. I mean, I will admit, if I could do this completely from scratch, I would. But I think I tried creating a system of how things would work in space combat, but I couldn't get the balancing right for the different ships. I tried to create a system where smaller ships were obviously faster and more maneuverable, but had less weapons or less powerful weapons. But that ultimately resulted in smaller ships, even if they were working in groups, being basically destroyed every single combat. So what I'm doing is reusing Games Workshop rules because while Games Workshop is another one of those companies that's kind of gone downhill lately, I wouldn't necessarily say they haven't gone woke in the same way Disney has, but they've basically become so obsessed with money, they've made the game hyper-competitive. Basically, every game these days, at my local store at least, every game these days basically revolves around put as many massive monsters, vehicles, or infantry you can on the field, and then you win the game. So that pushed me out of it. But thankfully, the Star game, Battlefleet Gothic, which actually has a new online version lately, which is quite cool. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, though. But the rules for Battlefleet Gothic were written, thankfully, quite a while ago. So they haven't. They're not basically they're not basically written in such a way where you can basically stomp the battlefield. I mean, it's got oh, trying to think. I mean, it's got rules for capital ship. It's got rules for cruisers of various sizes. It's got rules for frigates and destroyers of various sizes as well. It's also got rules for aircraft and missiles. It's also got rules for certain orbital stations that you'd find in the game.
I see.
So it's basically all there. I can just use it as I see fit.
Very cool.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it's just.
I had to
it's
put on voice dictation.
Oh.
Or I had to put on voice activation because I couldn't answer you when you were talking, because I'm trying to land the airplane. I've been sitting there trying to figure out why the hell is this thing not going down. That's because I had the auto throttle set. My bad.
Oh yeah.
My bad. Fortunately, it's just me in the airplane right now, and I'm trying to stay under 250 knots. This airplane does not want to lose altitude. It wants to stay up there forever. So I'm just so I'm spinning around in circles here, just trying to lose altitude so I can set up to land. Because I just got my low fuel light on.
Oh, that's fun.
Which, not a big deal. It just tells me that, hey, Dion, you need to just think about landing your airplane.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing right now, is I'm trying to get down.
Yep.
And hopefully, now I know what my altimeter is for Lake Tahoe is 3018. And what were the winds? I need to look at the winds. The winds was not reported. All right.
Well, that always helped.
So it's not reported. At least it didn't. The add-on that I have didn't pick it up. On the on my XHSI equipment, my redundant gauges that are outside the sim is telling me that I need to land right here, because my winds are at 284 or 248 at 10 knots, but I'm going in too fast to land, so I'm just going to circle around.
Right. But just remember the cardinal rule: don't crash.
Yep. No crashing. No crashing allowed. Let's come around here and go around this mountain. Because I'm on idle right now, so I have no thrust whatsoever at this moment.
Yeah, so you're gliding it in.
Yep, so I definitely need to land the other way.
Yep.
Not this way.
Then, of course, because of the way the wings are designed, the wings are themselves trying to keep you in the air.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be landing at 9 with a headwind at 9 knots, which is what you're supposed to do. Just that it's gonna be I'm gonna have a 9 knot crosswind.
Nah.
Not bad, but throw some drag out. Get my feet down so I can my gear down so I can land. And there is Lake Tahoe. But again, we don't want to land that way. We want to land on the other side. So I'll just go back out to the water, turn around, line up, land. And I'm going to be hand landing this. I even got the low fuel light right there. Cool. You're going to die.
Well, look on the bright side. At least the mountains are an effective safety net.
Yeah, you hit them first. Yeah, back in 1987, I think it is. 1987. Me and my dad, my wife, and my newborn daughter and my mom all went up here, and we did it. They have 3 7-Elevens up here, and those 7-Elevens, we were at the time we were putting ATMs, automated teller machines, inside 7-Eleven stores, because before that they didn't exist. And so we came up here and did the low voltage wiring and the electrical for them. So we actually spent we were up here a full week, but the one weekend that we were up here, got a hotel, a Best Western hotel, and just stayed up here and that sort of thing. It's a nice place. Lake Tahoe is very nice.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It looks like a beautiful place.
Now I'll go a little further. I think I'm still too close to the airport. I know, let's come around and hand land this beast.
I think the funny thing is, I mean, that the length of that lake, based on what I see on the screen, that's basically the length of that lake is basically the same distance where I live to a nearby island.
Wow.
That's how I reckon it,
right.
Based on my personal scale from where I live.
Right. Yeah, this is a big volcano. Lake Tahoe is a big volcano. And well, extinct volcano, at least they say. But yeah, it's just of course right now it would be covered in snow, because in the real world they've gotten so much snow that you know, that you can't even get up here. No, lake. I don't think the lake ever freezes over. I could be wrong in that assessment, but I don't think it ever has, to my knowledge. It may have, but I don't know.
That would be amusing, though, if you went up there one day and then you just saw icebergs floating in the lake.
That's good. Well, here we go. Now we're going to be a semi-final here as we're. Let me slow down my power. Cut back my power. Give me one deal of flaps. Slow me down. Like I say, this airplane does not want to go down.
Yeah, and of course, if you try to bring it down, so if you try to force it down, gravity will pull you forward. Some more wind will get under the wings, so it'll try pushing you back up again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I see my lovely wife has made it home, so that means this yeah, put a perfect time for me to take a break. Well, next time I'll do more plan, and maybe we can get more people in the stream and whatnot, and just kind of wrap back and forth, talking about various topics, whatnot.
Yeah, cancel Jeremy's while flying.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be amusing.
300.
I was supposed to turn on my inertial separator, but I'm too close now, so I'm just going to land it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like you're coming in nice and smooth.
100.
It's not bad. Not bad.
50. 40. 30. 20.
It's
Ethan's still going with that live screen.
wow.
Yeah.
And touchdown right now. There it is.
No, barely felt the bump.
No, it was minus 48 feet per minute, so pretty good. Pretty good landing. I'll take it. Minus 48 feet.
Yep.
Reverser's on. Flaps up. I heard a blink. Oh, that was telling me that I landed. That was SimBuddy telling me that I landed.
Oh.
Best I've seen you in a very long time. I cannot disagree there, Bug Eater, at all, because I have had a terrible time with the 737-200 as of late. Now, but I will say offline, I did do a flight offline when I flew into Albuquerque, New Mexico. That particular one right there, I did a 40 or 50, 53, I think it was. So I was happy with that one. But it's very rare. But congratulations, have made it to Lake Tahoe, California.
Yeah.
South Lake Tahoe.
It reminds me of that flight you did to Salt Lake City before the Council of Jeremy's the other last week.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if you'd crashed just before the stream went live.
No. Well, anyway, guys, on this right here, I definitely appreciate you guys very much for watching. Definitely like, subscribe, and all that happy stuff that every YouTuber says, because we like the likes and we like the subscribes. So we'll catch you guys next time, and definitely pass it along and tell everybody, hey, go watch this Dion guy. He's got crazy videos that does stupid things and doesn't know what the hell he's doing, but he enjoys doing it anyway. So if you want to chill and have some fun, definitely do it. So, and
whether you land or crash, it's always entertaining.
Exactly. And Spartan Jeremy, I definitely appreciate you stopping by on this stream with me. Most appreciated. And I'll definitely do it again. I just don't know when, because my schedule is so fluctuated, being able to do live streams. But I try to do them every day or every other day, just so I can, just because I enjoy doing it. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream and that sort of thing, and take care of things and get myself something to eat, because I'm hungry. So you guys take care, and I'll catch you guys next time on another exciting X-Plane Adventures. Take care, guys. Bye.